And we're back. Okay, I didn't move anything here. I just left it as it was. Nothing changed off camera. So we just continue from where we're going. So we need red, tan, and green for the corner. There's not that many places for it left to hide. So and we'll move it down to the bottom where it's still free to roam. We'll get it out of the way here so this can stay there and we don't lose it. And you can see that doesn't line up. So we will flip it. And it still doesn't line up. So we can flip it. So this lines up with that color, but it doesn't line up here. I'm looking at the wrong corner, aren't I? What'd I do? We're going to need this corner in a little bit. Oh, it's that corner. That's the corner that I really needed. Okay. So it's in a good position for us to just go ahead and start flipping it. And there it lines up with that color. So we'll get that out of the way. We'll turn this down to put it in where it needs to be. And so we can see that this corner is in the right spot, but it's going to keep us from dealing with this. But we can still do that by moving it out of the way before we do anything. And I'll just do that now before I forget it, because here's our butterfly or bandage or whatever you want to call it. And so we want to get this into a good position so we can see what we're dealing with. And now we can get this aligned. We can see that red and red are facing the same direction. So we can flip that down. And what did we mess up here? Okay, we messed up that. So we'll deal with that first. This is not in the way because we flipped it around so many times. So I'll flip that back up. We can flip this up. And we can see that we've got some interesting stuff going here, but this one's a gray one. So this is actually down here, and this is in the right position, but it's in the wrong orientation. So we'll have to deal with that. And anyway, it is not in the right position in regards to this one. So that's fine. So since we already know where this one is, we'll get this aligned. Pink is in the same direction. We'll fix this. Since we didn't move this one and we moved this one, we have to move this one out of the way and get that realigned. And oh look, we only have these three to go. And we already know where this one is and where this butterfly is. So that makes it a lot easier. Oh, and here is... Oh, that is in the right position, sort of, with respect to these two, but in the wrong orientation. So we have to ignore this one and go with this one instead. So since the pinks aren't in alignment, we have to get them into alignment. Okay, and so now that these pinks are in alignment, we can get them, the reds, into alignment. And now we need to look for that blue and pink. Which, because they are, we are getting down to the last little bits, it's getting a lot easier to find it. And just like with doing it the other direction, sorry, I'm not used to talking this much. You have to move that back into alignment, but before we move this, we have to get this back into alignment, but before we do that, we have to get this back into alignment. So we align that, we align that, or misalign it, in fact, so that this doesn't get messed up. And then we can align this and bring that back around. And now we have almost everything aligned here except for the bottom layer and the side. So you would think that would make finding, okay, we got that piece. It did make it easier. So we've got our greens aligned. We move that out of the way as usual. And we can drop that into place. And our last piece that is not the bottom piece is that one right there. So we need to get our greens aligned. And that is not aligned. Excuse me. But this is. And so we've got everything. That direction is fine, but not this direction. So we need to move these two back over. Those two out of the way. That back up. And okay, awesome. We got all kinds of stuff into place now. And we've got a whole bunch that is accidentally in the right spot. But we have things to do yet. We have 3 sides that are not in the right spot, and 2 that are, and 2 corners that are in the right alignment, and 3 corners that aren't. So I am going to pretend that these 2 aren't in alignment, and I am going to do our corner or our side algorithm to get those mixed up, so I can show you how to get everything into alignment. I didn't show it to you on the 2x2, which I should have, but I'll show it to you on the 3x3 because it's the same exact thing. So we saw that. That's a good alignment. And I am missing a step here because we still have to get this orientation done first. With the centers, the side pieces, the orientation has to be done before the alignment is done. So we will get that taken care of. It's the same alignment technique that you do with the 3x3. Same exact orientation. So now we can see that all of the centers are gray, and that's good. So now we need to get all of those into place. And I said I wasn't going to do it with 2. I need to do it with 4 of them. And okay. So this one doesn't matter that it's aligned, because we still have some other stuff to take care of. Yeah, it's not going to let me have all 4 of them out of alignment. So it doesn't really matter anyway. I'll just pretend that everything is out of alignment. So we need to get this one over here. I always like to get this one aligned first. So what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to get this one over here or this one over here directly, you can't do that. Well, I guess, yeah. It's not the normal, whoops. Not the normal algorithm. So, yeah, like I said, it's not something you can just directly do. So, even though I moved it over to here, I just made it slightly simpler. So we need to get this one out of there. So we're going to do our corner algorithm that I've been futilely doing to try and do some other stuff. But we'll do the same thing, but with this one, normally you do just 90-degree turns. And then the last one, you flip it twice to get it aligned. But this time you're going to flip it 3 times. So flip that up, give it a turn. And now that we're ready to do it one more time, instead of flipping it twice, you have to give it that one more turn, and then we're back into alignment. And now this one still isn't the pink, so we'll do the same exact algorithm, and the pink will end up being here, even though the blue will not end up being here. So voila, we've got those 2 aligned. So now we need to get this blue one up here. So now we can do our alignment one more time, and we're done. So this one happens to be in the right location, so we'll use that as our starting point. Doesn't matter if it was or not. We could just do our corner algorithm and get everything set up. And so, like this one, yeah, I'm going to fix the sides here real quick so I can okay, so I got the sides fixed. So now we can do the corner algorithm. To get the corners set up. So, okay, we need this one over here. So that's going to make it easy. The tough part is when you need this one over here. And so you have to start over here first. But this time we don't have to. And just like the 2x2, you have to do a slightly modified version of it, but it's still the same moves, just not 90 degrees. So we got that one into the right location, but not the right orientation, and we'll fix that in a little bit. So now we've still got these three out of place. So we'll get them into place. And it just so happens that they oriented themselves, and it only took one try at that algorithm to get them into place. You just do that algorithm until the last three are in place. And now we can do the corner orientation or algorithm, which is the same algorithm that we use here. So I only had to do it once there. And remember to turn this one back so that it doesn't get horrendously mangled when you start the next one, the next try, because this is in the right spot. It's just still not in the right orientation. So we have to do the algorithm one more time. And that magically fixes the rest of the cube, except for the missing stickers. And then we just reorient that. And now you have your 3x3 dodecahedron completed, even if it's not missing stickers. So I'll have to fix this one, as usual, off camera. But now you know how to do a dodecahedron 3x3.